Hello, my name is Brittany Parker, and if you've been following me, you know pretty much a lot about me already, actually, especially if you've followed like my Instagram or my Facebook and stuff like that. You definitely know a lot about me. But for those of you out there who don't know me, I just wanted to introduce myself and explain why I'm doing this. I thought about a way to reach out. I was diagnosed with breast cancer on July 9th. I had my biopsy done July 3rd, and on July 9th, I got the call that changed my life. They thought it wasn't cancer at first. They didn't believe me. So, women, men, whoever, always trust your body. Sorry, my nose itches. um, I knew it was. It started as a very small pea, which everybody thought was a little cyst because I breastfed my 5-year-old son. So it was about here. So it was very in an awkward spot. And everybody just said, just wait and, go to your gyno and, have her check it. So that was only a few weeks away, and I listened to advice of older women and stuff like that and just waited till my appointment. And by the time I got to my appointment, that little pea had grown into a huge mass right here that it was sticking out of my chest. Sorry if that wiggles. My phone might wiggle a little bit. Anyways, my gynecologist checked it out and automatically sent me in for a mammogram, which I had a bad feeling about from the beginning after that. I had a bad feeling about the small little pea. I have this like ESP, I swear, with my body. I just know when bad things happen. So anyways, after that, I got my first mammogram, ultrasound, the whole thing. I'm young, so I'm not eligible for those according to insurance, so nobody that was a battle. And then after the mammogram results came back, they decided that they wanted to do a biopsy to make sure that the tumor was not cancerous. And they also found calcium deposits and things like that. So everybody was really hopeful and like pretty positive that it wasn't cancer. My breast surgeon, who's one of the best in Ohio and amazing where I go, they are amazing and amazingly educated. Even he felt it and said, that does not feel like cancer to me. I wouldn't worry too much about it. So we get the biopsy done. That was hard for me just because it was my first one and it's a very exposing experience. So that's done on July 3rd. Then we have the holiday weekend to wait. So July 9th, I get the phone call first thing in the morning because I had called really early and left a message for who I call my breast cancer coach. She's kind of walked me through it all. And she is the one who told me that she would tell me my results, whether they were positive or negative, over the phone, so I didn't have to wait anymore. She wasn't going to make me come into the office for that, and I was grateful for that. She started by saying, "How's your day?" And I said, "Well, I'm just kind of waiting for some answers." So I said, "What's going on?" And she goes, "Brittany, I'm so sorry, but you have breast cancer." And I immediately, lost control. I don't typically do that. I was in the parking lot at work, going to work. I'm a social worker there. So, and I work with teenage kids. I specialize in mental health. I have for a very long time. So I sat in my car shaking and just like freaking out, and I asked her if it was a joke and if she was kidding, if there was some prank call and if people act this way, and she just reassured me, and then she offered to call my mom because I couldn't reach her, and I said I was going to send out some text and try to call my dad. And nobody answered their phone at that moment, so I had to send out this group text in my panic that just said, "I have cancer," this family group text. The next thing I know, everybody's calling me. My dad showed up, we told work, and we thought that at that point they said I had, there's two different types, lobular and ductal, which are the most common. They thought that I had lobular cancer, and that it could be removed with some surgery and possible chemo. They weren't sure which would come first. They thought that the tumor was small enough and that the cancer hadn't spread enough that just having surgery first and following up with chemo for longevity would be probably the solution they were going to go with. So immediately we started planning because I had an appointment every single day after that Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had appointments to meet all these doctors. So I had to take all the sick time off just for those appointments, and I couldn't go back to work since the day I found out. That next week, Friday of the first week, we had an MRI done of my breast to see the cancer and how far it was in there, if there was anything else in there. The next Monday, my breast cancer coach, who I adore, calls me again and says I have bad news. And I said, stop calling me with this bad news. I'm tired of you ruining my weeks and my Mondays. And I said, what's it now? And she says, Brittany, your whole right breast is engulfed in cancer. And I said, what does that mean? She goes, you have two types of cancer. You have ductal and lobular, which we call mammary carcinoma. I ask lots of questions about it. I am a graduate student, so I like to do my research. I like to know what's going on, and I like to be educated on what's happening to me. I also have this ESP, so like I said, I kind of had a feeling that it was worse. They were concerned it went into my lymph nodes. I pressed for a biopsy of my lymph node. They had done a scan of it and said that they didn't see anything suspicious, which is lucky, but it is also very, very difficult to find the lymph node that could be cancerous or have a problem or something. So to pinpoint that was very difficult for them. They weren't going to do it originally, and I told them that I have been right about having cancer this entire time. Nobody believed that I had cancer from the tumor. Everybody thought it was smaller, and now it's huge, and I need you to do this. So that did come back benign, which is good. However, I still have this inkling in my body that they didn't pick the right one, and that it may continue to go up here a little bit and like into here. I have dreams sometimes, and I just know, and I can feel it almost. It's crazy. So that's how it all kind of started. I ended up having to start my chemo the exact week after the MRI results. So basically that Monday she called me to say we got the MRI results, and this is 1 week after finding out I had cancer. And she was basically like, we needed to start chemo yesterday, I'm sorry. So the plan to get, surgery first changed, and the whole timeline changed. So I had to rush to move into my mom's house and get my son in here and just move everything, completely. I've lived on my own for 12 years, so this is a huge change. Thank God for a supportive family that I have. After that, I started chemo that next Wednesday. So Monday I found out. Tuesday, I had my pre-testing to, have my port put in. And this is a port, by the way. I'm sure most of you have seen them. Mine's still not healed all the way. And then the very next day, they started chemo on me. So I've had 2 rounds of chemo. I'm going for my 3rd. I lost my hair in my 2nd. That's been the hardest part for me. The first round of chemo wasn't that bad. I felt like sick a little bit. The bone pain from the new last I get, and I posted videos about that, was the worst, but I haven't vomited a lot, thank goodness, until this week actually, which is odd because my off weeks of chemo, when I have it every other week, and I have this ACT, I remember it that way, ACT chemo treatment, and I know adriamycin, I'm getting a very strong hefty dose of chemo treatment, so I've got 16 weeks every other week, and then it's followed up in phase 2 by a Taxol treatment. So I'm not really good at all of the exact medical language they use and stuff, but I do my best. So I talk in layman's terms, so I hope you guys understand. And if you don't, ask me questions, and I have huge binders literally of information that I can just look it up really fast. But the adriamycin they give me is like what causes your hair loss. And then the last is the worst also because it causes the bone pain. I remember my son touched my arm and it hurt. And he just did it to say hi, mommy. So that's the worst part. And now my off weeks I'm feeling nauseous, but it's like you can't puke. It's really annoying. It's like the worst feeling because when you are nauseous, you can puke and feel better. So it's not like that. You're just nauseous. Shaving my head, those videos was the hardest for me. I'm on here to start a platform for women who are afraid of feeling vain about their appearance when they go through this, because a lot of people will say, well, you're fighting for your life. It's just hair. It's not a big deal. It's just eyebrows. It's just eyelashes. It's just your womanhood. And it's just what society says that we have to look like, and the pressure from society. So why do we let it get to us? I don't know, but it does make us uncomfortable to not feel good about ourselves. So make it about you and how you feel comfortable. I feel comfortable wearing red lipstick with no makeup. I had a very special grandmother tell me once that red lipstick always makes you feel better, even when there's nothing else on. So I always put some bright lipstick on. My nose piercing, I don't know, makes me feel a little bit badass, I guess. I used to have really long hair, so my hair used to be my identity. So learning to find myself without an identity and to, well, at least part of my identity, and to feel that everything is changing and that I've lost control over so much. I tried to take control over the things that I can. And I'd like to explain more about myself. Like, I have a 5-year-old son. I live with my mom, who was a single mom raising me. She cannot afford to take care of me and my son. I'm about to be out of sick time and vacation time at work. Actually, I'm already out of sick time. And my disability was only partial, which doesn't start for 3 months. And I mean 60% of my paycheck, and I'm a social worker, so money is not good as a social worker. To my social worker lovers out there, we love our jobs, but seriously, $30,000 for a bachelor's degree is exactly why I'm getting a master's in a field that I can use psych in, but is all about tech. So anyways, I'm still a full-time graduate student in the user experience design program at Kent State, and I adore it, and I adore my classmates, and they're a huge support, and it keeps me going. So if you have questions about that, ask me. I'm learning YouTube. That's something that also fits in with what I'm trying to do in graduate school. So give me some time to upload videos and things and figure this all out, and please subscribe, because I want people to follow my journey specifically, because I feel like it's a little different with my mission. I want to start a nonprofit someday, and I really want to help people, because I've been helped so much. And as a giver and as a social worker, I'm used to helping others, especially in these situations. So I have to pay this forward, and I need you guys to help me do that. So if you guys can follow me, I'll post more about me and my plans to do this. But I have a beauty class today called Look Good, Feel Better, and it's through the American Cancer Society. It's a 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. class. I feel like crap today. I feel like I'm gonna vomit, even though I know I'm not. But I don't really want to sit through the whole thing. But when it comes to makeup and beauty, I love that stuff, and I'm all about it anyway. So I will totally sit through it. Plus you get free makeup, so hey, who can beat that? But there's a lot of people who don't want to do that and may be too sick to come. The class gets full easy, and it's only offered once a month. So I want to do something with this because I'm really good at it. I've also chosen to wear these. I have wigs, but right now my hair is so sensitive from falling out and it's spiky, so I'm going to try to shave it a little bit myself to trim it up. Because I have spots that I feel like are growing, and then other spots are falling out. So I really can't wait till it's baby bald smooth. But to be real, I will show you this. I just don't want to screw up my turban, because it took me a minute to learn how to do all this. So once I get the hang of that, I'll put some tutorials or whatever you guys want about it. But please follow me, because I want to help people out there, and you guys are my inspiration. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, thanks for watching.